Hello everyone and welcome to my 2022 bullet journal flip through. This is my third full year doing bullet journaling and I really enjoyed this year because I had a lot better idea of what I liked. For example, I knew that at the beginning I just wanted to keep it pretty simple, so I just started out with my 2022 in big numbers, and then my quote of the year, which was "You must find happiness right where you are." Next up, I had a future log. I didn't use that as much as I thought I would, but I think next year I actually will be using it a bit more because I switched up my planner situation, and so I think this is going to be even more useful than it currently is. I put big scary goals on my next page. Those are things that are kind of far out and will take a while to get there, but I just want to keep them in mind. And then I have my goals and intentions pages. I apologize for the squeaking, but it's the only way I can keep her from, being a crazy dog. So we're just gonna deal with it. So some of these I need to go through because I haven't checked everything off. Some of the goals have changed over the years or over the year. And so some things are no longer super relevant, but I liked having everything. This is kind of like the summary, and then I had more specific things in each area of business and life. This was a really great idea that I did not actually implement, or I guess I kind of did, but on a different page. So originally I was like, oh, I'll have every quarter on here, and then I can map out like the focus and the actions for each of the different quarters. And I did end up doing that, but not on this page. I wanted to keep track of some different things that I wanted to switch out. So things like making sure that I'm scrubbing my email list every quarter and stuff, but I didn't use that one at all. A page that I did use a lot were these planning pages for each section of my business. So I have my Becca's Music Room area. I have like my general plan, my content, and then product ideas. And then same thing for my Bible class, and then same thing for this area. This I left blank because I was like, oh, maybe I'll, add different things on there, but I never thought of anything to add. And then here is this YouTube, which I need to add more. I did just like a little tracker to get to 100 videos. That was my goal for this year. And I'm much closer. I haven't updated it in a while. This page was also super helpful. You can see I put a piece of tape on it. So for my blog posts, I just write out each of the days that I'm going to be writing a blog, and then I just write down what the title is going to be, and I do a check mark when I write it and a check mark when it is completely ready and scheduled and ready to be published. So I did that for my Becca's Music Room as well as my Becca's Bible class, although I was kind of behind on that one, as you can tell. This was some fun stuff that I wanted to do. I don't think I did any of these this year. Oh, we went to Biltmore and the Van Gogh exhibit. Those are the only things we did. But, still a good idea. Gift list and wish list were not super helpful either. Books I've read. I love doing the books that I've read and keeping track, although I am a little bit behind, so I need to go through and update that as well. I haven't been reading as much as I'd like to, but I'm now on break, so I have plenty of time. This spread was really helpful. The setup was really simple, but just being able to keep track of all the things that I wanted to do. As you can see, we didn't do everything, but we did quite a few things, and so it just really helped to have a planning sheet for that. I also had this vacation planner, which I only did 2 of our vacations on, but I will add more to that next time. On one side, I put all of the income for the month and like what all I made and from all the different revenue streams. And on the other side, I put the budget for both the business and also for me. And that was really, really helpful. I didn't do it in here every month. I did do it every month, but I didn't put it in here every month. And that was very helpful. And then I have a page that needs to be really updated for paying off debt and savings. That's what I will transfer to next time, and I need to put a little more effort into that. I did an investing area, and I didn't really keep up with that or this next page that ended up being blank. Then we go into the monthly setups. So this was January. I liked the idea of this, although I wish I'd done like a cardstock instead of just printer paper because you can see through it. And I just really liked it. It was just like acrylic paint on the background, and I just liked the way that it turned out. And I used my like paint pens on this. It was pretty easy and simple to do, and I just really enjoyed the effect of it. So that's something I might bring back one day, but be a little more careful. February was fun. It was very different, more like illustration-y, and that's not usually what I go for. I love this quote from Snow White, "Remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine." Such a good reminder to like keep your attitude in check. And then have that same like illustration-y, like letters kind of situation going all throughout. I had a lot of pages in February. That's odd. March, this is the second time I've done this setup for March. I love this one, although I totally smeared the quote that says, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." And I just love that because, you know, it's easy to be like, oh, so-and-so's lucky, but usually it's because they've been working hard. In March, I think I did a slightly different setup. So you saw I was doing like monthly calendars. In this one, I did a much more simplified version with just goals and then tasks, and then each week I always do the weekly plan, and then I have a Disney planner. These I actually really enjoyed, specifically having this page where I wrote down like our plans and then things we ended up doing, and then just a little like blurb about the trip. I really enjoyed having that. So that's something I want to keep going next time. And then having a spring break plan. I didn't fill this one out all the way, but it was a good one. Now, here's what I meant by I did do the quarterly things, but I didn't put them there. I did every quarter have a page like this where I basically did everything that I put in there, but I just put it in a different spot. And I did that every quarter this year. April was cherry blossoms, which I love. And then very simplified. And that's all I have for April is really just the title page and then this one spread. May was bright and cheery with the lemons. I love this one. It just so festive and bright. And I actually did this with Crayola Super Tips, which I thought was very impressive that they did that. And then we have goals and weeks, and I thought this was fun putting the things into the lemons. You'll notice the last week always ends up being like nothing in there, and I just, you know, add a different way. Here I have another Disney planner because we did go again. We went many times this year actually, which was fun. And then I have this like summer plan focus situation, which was really ambitious now that I'm looking at it, because wow, there's so much that I didn't get done. And that's a huge lesson that I have learned this year in particular, is just the amount of things that I wanted to get done that I wasn't able to get done. So next year in my whole planning process, I'm probably going to be a lot more realistic and a lot more conservative about the things that I, you know, say that I'm going to do, because just so many, like, I mean, you can see the check marks. So many of these things didn't get done. Some of them I just didn't check off, but a lot of them just didn't get done or didn't get done when I wanted them to. And then I definitely spelled course wrong, but planning out the course that I made for my back to school course. And this was a helpful page, but I used a different notebook. Next up, we have June with this tropical situation. I like the idea of this. I didn't really like the outcome of it. It was just a little bit weird. See what I mean? I was like, I'm going to read 10 books, and apparently I read 3. If that's accurate, I don't know. But just really simple in June. I just have, again, the 2 pages here and here, and that's all we got. This, however, ended up being probably the most helpful spread of the entire bullet journal. I went through it and I started batching my... Oh, we found a new squeaky toy. I started batching my videos, and in doing that, I was like, I need calendars that go far enough that I can plan everything out. So I cut out all these little pages and taped them in to make little calendars for every month, which, yes, was a bit tedious, although kind of enjoyable, that has when I'm posting videos and what said videos are going to be and what blogs are out there. And so you can see I have like two sides down here where I have, one is my TBT YouTube, my main YouTube channel, and then the blue is my Becca's Music Room, which includes blogs and YouTube videos. And then I just put a dot where each of the different videos was going to be, and that has been super helpful. And again, just a check when it's filmed, a check when it's edited, posted, ready to go, as well as a couple of goals. I actually did pretty well on those. I didn't check them off, but I did almost all of them. I did at least 5. So, you know, that's pretty good. And then these were just kind of intentions and thoughts to go along with everything. So that's something I'm definitely going to be doing in my next journal, is just having those. And you may not have a content plan, but you might have something else that is similar that you might need to keep track of, just projects and stuff. So, you know, something to think about. You could also, I'm sure, find these online and print them out. That would have been easier, but here we are. I also made a quick little plan for the second half of the year that had things I wanted to work on each month, and then products. So again, with the products, I just kind of brain dumped all of the ones that I wanted to do, and that was super helpful in just keeping things, you know, top of mind. And obviously I didn't get to a lot of them, but in my next bullet journal, I think I'm going to do more of this setup than how I had before, where it's just like, here's a bunch of random products, because they're a little more separated. So thinking through like, what are the things I want to work on this year, and then separating out my products by those things. I did start a weight tracker, which I did not actually fill out, and then I was like, oh, I'll do like a self-care tracker, and then I didn't use either of those things. But, you know, you live and you learn. July was another theme where, like, I liked the idea of it, but I didn't like the execution of it. It just, like, that's just not my favorite cover page. But I think I threw it together pretty quickly. And very simple planning page. And those were the only ones I had. In August, I loved this whale. He was my favorite. I don't love this page. I meant to go back and change it, but I never did. I like the quote. It just didn't like the way this page turned out. It looked weird. Goals and planning, and then I did like little watercolor turtles. I always end up loving the ones where I like spend a lot more time. Really? Like, that makes sense. And in here I did a little bit more. So I had like 3 pages and then a page of reflections. September, this was my original one and I hated it, so I just flipped a page over and reevaluated and did something different and used one of my favorite quotes. This one says, "The problem is not the problem is your attitude about the problem," which is by Jack Sparrow. And I love that one. I just think it's very cheeky and very funny, but like it's also very true. And I liked the colorful leaves for September, because September is one of those, it doesn't quite feel like fall down here in Georgia, but it's like we're getting there, and so I don't like to go full out, you know, pumpkins yet. I did things a little different with the weeks at the bottom. And then I was going to do a course, look, I spelled it right that time, and I was originally going to start it in September and launch it in October, and then that didn't happen. It kept getting pushed off, and then I just didn't do it. So there we are. Quarter 4, here you can see, again, I guess I didn't do a quarter 3 technically. but I did the half year, so I thought that was, you know, kind of made it work. And so in here I had my main goals, products I wanted to work on, and then each month's plan. I'm being attacked by a dog at the moment. Oh, there we go. She just flopped over. All right, hello. You can lay there. And then each month's plan, along with how much money I needed to make each month to hit my goal, which I did hit, which is super exciting. I don't think I have my goal written in here anywhere, so I won't tell you what it is yet. But then we move on to October with these colorful pumpkins. Love this. Added the quote at the bottom, "Even miracles take a little time," which is from Cinderella, which I thought went well with the, you know, like blue pumpkins and pink pumpkins. And in October, I brought back the monthly calendar and important dates, because this is when I started changing my planner situation. I used to use the Full Focus planner, and I switched to just using a blank notebook instead, coupled with this. And so I just, thought it would be helpful to have my calendar back in, and I did find that helpful, although I didn't do the 2-page spread like I used to. And then important dates, because October was a busy month. It doesn't look that busy looking at it here, but y'all, it was crazy town in October. And I know that doesn't reflect it, but it felt like crazy town. It was insane. Which is why I didn't get to very many of the things that I wanted to get to in October, because it was crazy town and I was so busy and did not actually fully accomplish things that I wanted to accomplish. Now for November, I actually didn't even do a November spread because I had all these things I wanted to finish in October and I didn't, so I was like, I'll just do those in November, and so then I just never made a November spread. So flipping to December, here I had some eraser issues, so this looks funky. I need something here. But I went with these colorful presents and the colorful string lights. I videoed this one, and again with the important dates and the calendar and Vlogmas. I got that one done. I need to get that one done so we can post those. But this is a really helpful spread if you have a lot of projects, and I've just been checking off each one. The dates are no longer correct, but it was good, to have as a planner. And then I have my goals in a little Santa letter situation, and then the weekly plan, the gift list, so I haven't filled these sections out yet, as well as a habit tracker and some little presents, and then reflections for the month. And then I have a really simple little list on the other page with craft show ideas. My next few pages will actually be used for planning out the next year and deciding, what spreads were helpful and not helpful, which this video actually really helped me with. So thank you for watching. I would love to know what your favorite spread was down below. Mine might be the lemons, and I always love the colorful pumpkins. I don't know. Let me know your favorites down below, and thanks so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye.